Hello, this is SP. Welcome to Powerful Impact. We have Tiptoe joining us from No Nonsense Hip Hop with a special guest, General Steele. Tiptoe, how you doing today?
I'm good. I've been waiting for this one. You know how much of a fan I am. I've been listening to them since I heard him on Black Moon's album. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I've been following them since then. How you guys doing?
And then we have uh, General Steele. How are you today?
Salute, salute. I'm blessed. I'm blessed, highly favored. I'm in good space, healthy, you know, family as well. Everything is
Well,
great.
we're going to give the floor to Miss Tiptoe and let her start us off.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so I like I said, I've been following your career, the group's career since way back when. I first heard you guys on Black Moon's album, right? And
Okay.
I always ask artists this question because I know how much I love hip hop and I know when I first fell in love with it. So, when did you first realize you loved hip hop and what made you fall in love with it?
Um, well, just growing up in Brooklyn, Brownsville, um, watching the growth of hip hop. I was raised on soul music, soul, funk, jazz, you know, whatever my dad played in the crib, that's what I was vibing to.
Right.
When hip hop jumped on the scene, we literally watched it grow from its infancy. So for me, it was fascinating. The whole trip was fascinating, and it continued to evolve. So I think I dabbled as a kid because everybody dabbled. Hip hop was all around us. The dress, the jams in the park. Um, you know, the DJs used to bring out equipment. I live right across the street from a public school, so they would bring out equipment and just be jamming. And although I was too young to go to the gym, my dad definitely didn't think it was safe for me to be there. I lived on the 14th floor, so I can look out the window and just see a concert in the hood. So it was
That's so dope.
all these different lanes that was just grabbing you. It was all around. It was all encompassing. And when I finally had a radio in my room, I would try to stay up and try to catch all the late night hip hop
Right.
shows. I'm just doing my research. It just seemed like natural thing. I was into it. So in high school, that's how we communicate with each other. Like I used to tape all of the new songs. I remember I first heard um Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh. I was in love with it automatically, you know.
Right.
Um,
I
and then
miss
it's
those
like
days.
just being from that soul background and then hearing this music, like this is the bastard child of all of these different musics smashed together. And
I
it's like you
agree.
felt that connection. So it wasn't too later that I considered it like as a profession though. I was just
I
like,
I agree though with you because I'm Hispanic and I grew up with oldies,
right, right.
soul, lowrider, jazz too, Mexican music, you name it. And I always just loved the minute I heard Sugar Hill Gang on the radio. I was 9. My cousin was playing it,
Mm.
and then it just caught me, and then the message, and I went on like with Slick Rick, and I just was in love ever since
Yeah,
then.
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. It's very intoxicating. And then it's coming from a place where you exist at. It wasn't
Right.
it wasn't it wasn't foreign to us.
Right.
Stories and
Right.
people saying the stories. It spoke to us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wish I could have been outside over there. I'm West Coast, so like I
Mm,
love hearing stories about when you guys were outside at that time when hip hop was getting started. Just amazing. I miss recording the late night radio shows. I don't think these kids understand how hard we had to work to get our hip hop music back then.
real talk, real talk. It was definitely, you know, it was a game. It was a sport. You had to box out for your position. You know, at one point, you had hip hop was like it was all underground, right?
Yeah.
So when we are hearing them playing it on, we had like two prominent stations in New
Right.
York, as like Hot 97, Kiss, and BLS, and we would have like 1 hour. It'd be like Mr. Magic over here, and it'd be like DJ Red Alert over here. So these guys was kind of like it was a fun competition.
Right.
You
Mhm.
only had 1 hour a day. You know what I mean? And it's like,
See,
yo,
and we over here, my friend was a DJ, and we only had in Arizona the one station, which came out like at 1 a.m.,
oh gosh,
for an hour. And he would play what you guys was listening to, what West Coast. His name was Scotty Papa
blended.
Funk. I'll never forget his name. I'm like, Papa Funk. Ah, you went with Papa Funk. But yeah, yeah, yep.
Uh,
I miss those
that's
Yeah,
dope.
days.
and I'm from Texas, so and I'm from San Antonio, so that was dead until sometime around 88. We used to have to actually drive to Houston with blank
Right.
tape, and then we
Mm-hmm.
record everything on the radio station and then bring it back to San Antonio for everybody to
That's
Hey,
right.
I
share.
used to
We just
go back
shared
and
it.
forth. Yeah, I
Yeah.
would do the same. Go
We
back
would
and forth to
we would
California
pregame
with
early.
my cousins. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's dope.
So where did you get your name?
Um, my name, I got my name in high school. I think I was about maybe like 15, 16, something like that. And my name comes from um I'm a part of this collective called the Decepticons. And
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
yeah, I got my name from this brother. Um his name is Minosaur. Like everybody in Deceps is like got, these wild names. So I needed the
So
name,
the
I went on the
steel part, does that have to do with how hard your lyrics are? Or like, because I always wondered the same thing. Like, what exactly does your name, because it's General Steele, right?
yeah. I had to earn that general. At first, it was just steel. Like and steel comes from steel punch. That was my
Right.
name. Yes. So it has to do with, hitting hard, just getting to the point. But it's also a part of my persona. Like I'm mostly a serious type of dude. Mostly straight up square, and that has been I guess my modus operandi since I was a kid. I've always been like almost like almost like a geek, almost like a hood geek,
Hey, you know,
strategist, you know. But
that's
that's the
that's the misconception that people have about hip hop artists, though, that they are
right,
not intelligent. When I find a
right.
lot of hip hop artists are very intelligent and woke, like,
Hmm.
people just stereotype.
Yeah,
You would
yeah,
have to be intelligent to be able to put words together the way that
Exactly.
you do.
right.
Exactly. Metaphor, punchlines, all that stuff. Like, come
Now,
on.
I definitely respect the craft. I would never want to, violate or besmirch what the pioneers have blessed us with. So the
Hmm.
conversations, or you put the pen to the pad, it's like, what are your experiences? How are you able to express yourself in a conversation? And then when you put it to music, it's just a lovely marriage. That's a blessing to be able to create in that forum.
I see. Okay, so I have I'm gonna ask you a question that someone asked me to ask you. I posted a post on Twitter, and I thought
Mhm.
this was an interesting question. I liked it. General, okay, he goes by Papa Geezy, okay, like paparazzi, but Papa Geezy. And he
Mhm.
wanted to know what you thought of EDI's remix of Military Minds or Better Days.
Um, the
Yeah, I
remix.
like that question. I was like, I gotta ask this because, hey, we want to know.
Well, I mean, I'll say this. I think that there's nothing like the original. You know,
Right.
the original was created in a very special special time. You know what I mean? What I do appreciate, I can't compare them, you know, because the original was always going to have my heart. You know, being in that space with Pac and the Outlaws and creating there,
Mhm.
it was spiritual. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I like what the brothers did. I'm so happy that they was able to bring it back full circle and carry the flag. And this is what Tupac was talking, pretty much uniting the coast. You know,
Right.
this is these not
Mhm.
you don't have to talk about it. You just got to be about it. So I salute them brothers for if anybody gonna do it over, it gotta be somebody. It gotta be them, right?
Right. Right. But I
Right.
agree. It's nothing like the original. The
Yeah,
original is always gonna have that place, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And these guys, man, you gotta think like these guys spent an incredible amount of time with Pac, so they almost have Pac mannerisms. All of them have different mannerisms of this guy.
Wow.
So it's, you know, I love it.
So I think we're going to carry on with the questions that the fans have asked us to ask you because they you have some diehards on Twitter that are just they
Yeah.
I
were
love
like
you,
as soon as
y'all.
I put that post up, boom, 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 boom,
Me
it was
too.
full.
Yeah. I got DMs and I'm like, I'm not asking all these questions. I'll pick a couple, you know, but okay.
We're gonna try to
I
get.
got like
We're gonna.
I got like 40 questions just
Yeah.
back to back to back. And I'm like, okay, we gotta ask something too, guys.
Yeah.
But
Oh man, I gotta get it though.
Will Davis, he wanted to know who was the guy in BCC that made you want to rewrite your verse. The dude that you heard and you were like, oh shit, I got to do something different.
Did that
Um,
happen?
nah,
I don't think that happened like that.
never happened. I'm lucky that's not really. I never
Yeah.
had to work. I will tell you this though, funny story. I did a song with Sean Price,
Oh.
and Buckshot, and
Mhm.
I had a fire verse. My verse was hot, but they ain't want that verse. They wanted me to rhyme a certain kind of way. I just refused to do it. I refused to rewrite. I was like, I'm just not gonna be on the song. Like, if you'd have
Hey,
gave me them in
you got to be
prior,
you though.
yeah. I mean, I came with something, but it was like they had this cadence that they was doing, and I was like, yo, I didn't know that was what you guys was trying to go for. But I gracefully bowed out. I wasn't upset about it, anything like that, because like all of my brothers is they get busy, and
Mhm.
especially like like you know having them as your comrades, they always force you to raise the bar. You know,
Right.
you can't
Cool.
be on dudes like Rockness Monster and Buckshot and Tech. Like these guys are gladiators. So it always forces me to come with something interesting.
Yeah.
And like you said, Tiptoe, it's you got to be you. You got to be
Yeah.
you, because it gets a little tricky when you got all of these guys and you don't want to. Sometimes you might pick up some characteristics or style
Mhm.
quality else, but it's good to be original. I think we've managed to,
I
so
appreciate it more when the artist is them and not trying to be something else. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
come on now. All right,
I'm great
so I have let's
because we,
continue this before we get into my questions and
yeah.
SP's questions. Um okay, so Charles who I call Baltimore asked he'd like to know how far in the creative process Boot Camp Click got to finishing the Tupac collaboration album. For instance, the reading suggests there were quite a bit of unfinished tracks. Whose parts were missing and just how close? This dude always asks damn paragraphs. How close were we to getting that album?
Firing. Oh, um, great question. Great question.
Yeah.
We did about we did about I went about 7 8 songs.
Well, I can't hear you for some reason.
You can't hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Give me that. Oh, we did about seven songs with Pac. Um,
Okay.
we all wasn't on all of the songs. Like Tech jumped on the song um with Pac, and I forgot who else was on the song. I think Grandmaster Melly Mel was on the song.
Dang.
Get It On. I think the name of the song was something like that. Let's Fight or something like that. The last song that we did was a song uh by the females, like I Never Call You Bitch Again or something like that. One of those type. I think that was the name of
Mm-hmm.
the thing what he was going for. And that was the most tense time in the studio. At that particular time, like we was hitting the studio every day. Every day. We was there to work. So
Right.
it was work for us, and just trying to uh take advantage of the time that we had because we wasn't gonna be there that long. So we had to make it work. When we first got down there, it was dudes already in the studio. Like LP was already in the studio. Um Greg Nice was there.
Wow.
So we had to kind of like have a boot camp meeting and go, yo, listen, man. We ain't gonna get on we're not gonna do a bunch of compilation songs with all these guys. We really need to make some hits with Pop. So we started to really like, we told him what we wanted to do, and we were just knocking out songs like every second. He was in his studio like, yo, who got beats? Daz Dillinger was on deck. Um, so Snoop would come through. Jewel was there, and we worked to the last day. The last day was tense because he had Suge try to get him to come to Vegas, and he didn't want to go.
Ah.
So the whole time we was there, we've been working diligently up into that one night, and his mood and demeanor changed. But that was like the last night that we was with him. We had to leave the following night. But I believe that he was pretty close to, and
Do you you
Was
think he'll
so
ever?
was it LP Large Professor or LP from Company Flow?
LP, his brother from I forgot the name of the group, but I think he lived in Jersey or something like that.
Yeah. So, do you think he'll ever see the light of day?
I mean, I think some of the songs that we've done have been dismantled. Some have been used. I've heard Eminem take some of the vocals from Pac and put it to a
Right.
song, mix it.
It's not the same though. Like,
No, it's not the same. But I think we got to take what the brothers gave us. We got to
yeah.
take what they gave us on this trip. Um, and just got to chalk that one up. That was one for the books. That was
I
just.
I can almost hear it, like, because I know your catalog. I know those artists' catalog you mentioned. I know Tupac's catalog, and I can almost hear how amazing that album would have been. Right?
Yeah, his work ethic is incredible. Pac is
Yeah.
is dope, and he and in the studio, it's like he can balance it out. He can, he's a funny guy, very witty. So he might be
Yeah.
in the studio, jokes on people, and
Yeah.
he'll go in the booth and he's just fiery, ferocious, and then he'll sit behind the board and get the tweaking. You could tell he has a master plan, and he wants to build it out. Like one time he went outside and found three guys. I think they was up the block singing on the corner or something. And we was in Cali. So
Yeah.
I think he came and brought these guys in the studio and had these guys lay a hook for him, paid him, gave him a little couple of cash or something.
Yeah.
We were just building out songs and making outlines. I'm like, that was incredible. I learned
I
a lot from.
remember I remember seeing him out there in LA. I remember seeing him at the House of Blues, but I remember when I used to go kick it out there with my cousins and
Mm,
him and Suge, and then would just be rolling around, and the stories I would hear about, you knew if you was out there, you was out there, the
Mm-hmm.
craziness that went on. Yeah, but they did a
yeah,
lot of good stuff too, though. A lot of banquets for moms, you
right.
know, visiting things for dads that were locked up. Suge would rent the bus and take, kids and stuff to go
Yeah,
see their dads and stuff like that.
that's dope.
So
So this question is from the Cleaver. He's an artist, and he wants to know what was the creative process and sessions on the all like.
Um, the sessions on the all. Um, we went in. Honestly, we went in and didn't have a clue where we were going to start, what we were going to talk about. Such a gap since the last project that we worked on. But we know we needed to make something meaningful and something that was mature.
Mm-hmm.
What's the tech and still sound? Um, we landed in North Carolina, and Ninth Wonder picked us up from the airport. He didn't have his homie pick us up or a taxi. He picked us up himself in his car. He even grabbed our bags. You know what I mean? He was like, he's such a cool guy. He's gonna bring you right into his heart and his home. So it made
Mm-hmm.
it comfortable for us to. I mean, we have history with him already, so it was a very comfortable vibe working in the studio. They had this the studio where they work out is probably like maybe like 3 rooms, and Ninth Wonder has like the room where he be making beats in every room, right?
right.
They'll
Mm-hmm.
bring us. I'll be in there. Tech will be in there. We'll go over titles, you know, um, and it's basically it starts with a vibe. It starts with us vibing and listening to tracks, and just trying to get the lead out, get the kinks out. The first probably 3 songs we did never made the cut. I think I
Wow.
heard them about 2 days, and I was like, "Yo, what the song we did with the what? Nah, that ain't make the corner, yo. That ain't come around the corner. That's forget about it. Like we just kept going until we got into that zone, that groove. We had a big a big board where we was writing down ideas and concepts and just seeing how it worked and discussed or who we might want to do songs with. But one thing that was important, Ninth had a vision for this project. He wanted to hear The Shining Part 2.
Mm.
And again, the remix of it can't happen, bro. It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry.
It's
It's
a
only one
great,
sound.
it's an
Not,
amazing album, though. Like it would almost be worth a part two, even if it's not. It can't be the same.
no. But I think in
Mm-hmm.
retrospect, it kind of can be uh built like that almost because
Right.
it's a mature version. It's like I feel like I made 2 albums my whole career, The Shining and The All.
Hmm.
Because both of them 2 albums was spot on.
Right.
No
Okay.
weak links.
Okay.
And yeah, but the direction that Ninth gave us, you know, it was beautiful, man. It was like, and of course his team. He has an awesome team, So it was nice. Every day we would wake up in the hotel, and Crisis would pick us up, right, and we would go to a restaurant called the Flying Biscuit,
The
right,
Flying Biscuit,
the Flying Biscuit.
where the biscuits fly.
The business was super fly. You could pimp your biscuit out. But I
Yeah.
mean, like 4 days of that back to back, I had to find another restaurant because we was
Right.
OD. But that was the flex. Like we go and break bread, and then we go to the studio and we'll be there all day. Then at some point, it's like, yo, I'm like, I don't even want to go to the hotel anymore. I'm just gonna sleep there, like
Yeah.
just work
Mm-hmm.
all night and crank out, like. So it was like home. Only other comfortable spot was D&D. We did The Shining.
Yeah. So let me ask you something. I've been keeping up with your music, like American Made. You dropped this year, right? And then
Yeah,
you guys dropped uh, what is it? Eyes Open? Is that what it's
yeah,
called?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So I love American Made, right? And what you was talking about in there and all that. So I have a question. because you've always spoke about, you know, that's why I like your music, because you
Thank
throw in what's going on and stuff like that. You know, you speak about what's going on out here in these streets. Do you feel, as an artist, and an artist that is conscious, say, let's throw in Immortal Technique, right? Do you feel it's their responsibility as this type of artist to speak on that, to make music and speak? Because I think we need that. I think hip hop really needs that type of music as opposed to what's floating around mainstream. You know what I'm
good point.
saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do. I
And
mean, that's a slippery slope because at the end of the day, music is an expression. Like you can be a pianist. You could be a person who never uh speaks. It's just let the notes do the talking for you. But then
right,
you can have passion for the people in your heart, and you can put that in somewhere else. Like you can do community work. You don't necessarily have to do the
right,
community through your music. Like someone like a Jay-Z who's very successful. Through his success, he can take some money and do something positive with that on that level. But he don't have to rhyme about the same stuff that I rhyme about.
right. No,
I
what
think
I'm saying is, like, Jay-Z, like, okay, so American Made, that song basically is about what's going on, right? With all
yeah,
this political stuff and all this
yeah.
stuff. Jay-Z don't really have that much music like that, but Immortal Technique does. And I hadn't
Good
heard
point.
from
Good point.
Immortal Technique. And I'm like,
Yeah,
bro, where you at, homie? Like, I want to hear what you got to say. You
yeah.
know
Now
what I
that's
mean?
that's
But
real.
I think I'm being selfish as a fan. And I
Well,
probably am.
but it's nothing wrong with having a preference because I don't.
Right.
I be. It's done. It has taught us culture. It has taught us the temperature. It's like it's our version of like it's our news, it's our tales, it's our stories, and our stories is very political, very social, political,
Right.
and it's a lot of stuff that we can learn from each other. It's multicultural within this one. Under this one umbrella, you have so many different races and religions and ethnicities, and you know,
Mhm.
it's great to be able to have this melting pot and to see what people will do if that's where their heart is at. But it is a
Right.
lot of stuff that just seems to be like carbon copy of some formula designed to either dumb you down, um,
Yes.
and just make a dollar, because even in the news, if it bleeds, it leads, right? Everybody think that being tough or being a gangster is the thing that's gonna make you the most dollars,
Right.
and it
You
might be
got to
true.
be up here too, though. I mean, you could
Yeah,
be tough all you want, but if
yeah,
you ain't smart and you ain't woke, you
yeah.
don't.
And you know what?
Propaganda is everywhere.
I mentioned Jay-Z, right? Because Jay-Z is a highly intelligent dude.
Very. He
You know what
just
I'm saying?
raps more street. Like, he
No,
does a lot. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no, he does it well. He does it well.
He
And
does
the
it
fact he's
real well.
Sagittarius, I mean, but like a guy, I do like Sean Price.
Sean
With,
Price is
with
good.
Sean Price is incredible. But
Yes.
Sean Price he used to tell me, yo, like, just rap, bro. Like, just rap. Don't, like, you nice. You ain't gotta always try to teach people. Just rap. Like, curse some people out, beat some people
Right.
out. Like, he wanted to hear that because he knew that was the temperature. And it's like sometimes it's a little bit tricky because people just want you to make dope music, and then later on you can reel them into your life or your whatever standards or whatever ideals you may have within the
Right.
conversation. But me, I just have an urge to do it. You know, it's
And I
on.
love it.
Yeah,
So,
it's on. I
Tip,
gotta, I got, I gotta go with the flow. I can't be fake to myself.
hmm
When I did American
mentioning Sean,
Fun, it's infuriating sometimes to watch what goes on. In the government, and like we just watched like an amazing amount of young black men get gunned down. Right? We
Yes.
we just
yes.
we watched that. We watched that, and if you're not infuriated by that, you don't want to, like, if my message could reach some people, then yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like there's
and
no amount of money that you could
that's
pay me.
what
You know?
And I
I
think the sad
feel
part
we're
about all of
missing.
that is, I think the sad part about all of that is, it's not just the fact that it's you're watching it. It's been happening, and it's only because now there are cameras and that people are paying attention to it. But we have been saying it for years. So
Right, but
it's
also,
infuriating to me that we were considered liars for so many years before a camera actually could verify exactly what we were saying. It's so frustrating.
Right.
what's frustrating is the propaganda that goes on with that. The news is quick to play those videos over and over and over and over again. And that's what bothers me. It's like it's been happening for so long, but now that the cameras are catching it, the reason they keep showing it is it's a message in itself.
That's
Like,
right.
it's not done. Propaganda has been used so much for racial tactics.
That's right. Well, you
You
think
know what I'm
about
saying?
But it's not propaganda when you see somebody getting shot in the
No,
middle of the
it's
street.
not.
That's not
The
propaganda. That's
government, the
just fact.
media is
the
using
whole
it
circuit
though.
that goes around that. I understand.
We
It, um,
we understand that. I understand that if they use it to divide. I do.
Yeah,
I understand that. But you can't get past the fact that it's
I know what
happening,
you're saying.
and
right.
it's been happening.
That's
Right.
right.
I mean,
It's
just
been happening.
yesterday they
So
stabbed
yes, we
the
know
kid
they're
stabbed the
over.
dude
They're
next door.
over.
Like, happens all the time.
There has been black people being murdered in America on a regular basis since the conception of this country,
Of this colony.
Right.
and they have never they have never shown black people the things that happened to black people until it became profitable.
Mm,
It's
That's it.
profitable now.
mm,
Yeah. Yeah. Same thing with with Mexicans. Like, they don't want to talk about it. They just want us to cross back over the border and stay there and not be here. You know what I mean? when
right.
when um we're literally farming and doing a bunch of shit for these people that they would never do. White people
Right.
would never go out there and pick watermelons and shit like that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it happens a lot. Women getting raped and beat. It happens to black and brown, and it's just disgusting.
Absolutely.
And this
No,
government
I think these
sucks.
type of forums, like you guys and what I do, like yeah. Just to go back to that other question. I
But
mean,
that's why I appreciate your music. You know what I'm saying?
you
And I
gotta assume
wish.
type of responsibility, right? Like you don't feel that. I mean, like you said, like
Hmm.
he said, like as you saying that, I'm thinking about what was done to the Chinese Act where
Yes.
they Chinese out. I'm thinking about what was done to the Native Americans, the
Yeah.
Indians,
Hmm.
the Trail of Tears, you know.
Hmm.
The
Shit,
America,
Japanese
even
during World War
Irish were
II.
getting it back then because
right?
they weren't the right white. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I was watching Channel 13, and they were talking about how everybody at one time was criminalized, and then eventually they were decriminalized. But people of
Mm,
color have not been able to be
yeah,
decriminalized to this date.
Well,
And then we,
they actually had to go to court in order to claim their whiteness,
mm,
right?
yes, yes,
So
yes.
they
But
actually
we need
had
a
to,
Funk Master Flex bomb right now. Boom.
yeah, they actually had to go to court and um become white.
mm.
You weren't automatically white because you were Italian. Italians actually had to go to court and be um they had a whole process that they determined whether you were truly white or not.
Mm.
it's so
So
ridiculous.
Water down
I mean,
your
even
olive
like
skin.
Columbus, he didn't discover, like, my ancestors were here already, dude. Like, and then they come here and they destroy everything
Mm.
and destroy people, and it's just so much. Anyways, let's get back on hip hop because I'm gonna
oh
end
yeah.
up ranting on Twitter, going off on motherfuckers. Like, you
You
know me,
you
SP
got
man. I do not
you
stay
got to put
quiet.
the puzzle though. You gotta let the people know like this is not nothing new. Like SP says, like we got to monitor these things, because some, you got to admit to yourself that there's an agenda, and sometimes the agenda don't include just the regular folks. So we got to
Right.
we say stay woke. That's like, this is what we're talking about. Stay woke. Let's build about these things, and let's see how we can come up with some programs and possibly stay in touch with each other, because we all
Right.
experience together. Like, we all
Mm-hmm.
shut down. Everybody,
Yeah.
not just blacks, white. You know what I mean? Everybody just now. So how do we get back on the track? We have these discourses where we can really chop it up. You know.
So let me ask you this, because this is something that's been kind of bothering well, it's been bothering me for a while. This suffrage Olympics that we seem to be having with the diaspora.
Mm,
What I,
Yeah.
you didn't have it as hard as us during slavery, and it's just so weird,
It
and
is.
they use, and they don't see how it is a tool to
I
keep us
agree.
separated, because as long as you're separated, then you have no power.
that's right.
Exactly.
Divide and conquer, and keep people desensitized and pacified. Um, you know, drugged up, leaned out. It makes sense if you have an agenda where it's like, I don't. What someone was talking about COINTELPRO the other day, and I'm willing to bet a lot of these young brothers and sisters don't even know what that is. They probably
Right.
don't think. They probably think that was something in the '60s. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, programs is in place for a good reason. That's so there will be no leaders. Like, there will be no more Malcolm X. There will be no more Martin Luther King. There will be no more um, you know Khalid Muhammad's. Like,
Yeah.
the purpose of that is to dumb you down, to keep you at a place where pretty much you're controllable. So, but a lot of times, if people are woke, and you have like, I want to big up a couple of brothers and sisters out there that keep the bill strong. They don't fall victim to these wacky
Mhm.
podcasts, and everybody talking about R. Kelly and all of that. Like, man, get that guy out of here. We had enough of them stories. I don't want to know what's going on.
But it goes back even to Egyptian days, like the Kemetic days. I mean, they look what they did to the Sphinx, and
Mm,
I just feel like they take and take. They took technology, inventions, passed it on as their own.
mm-hmm,
Mayans were very intelligent. So
mm-hmm.
were the people that were Kemetic. You know what I mean? People
Yeah,
from Africa. So much stuff that they were doing that they weren't. And I think that's why they did that, though. I think that's why
Well,
they created that and did the slave thing, because they don't have that. I always felt like they don't have culture.
Ta.
Is
fear
that
of a
wrong?
black
Am I an
planet is
asshole
a
for
real
saying
thing.
that though? Like
Oh, it's
like
cold.
we
It's
got
cold.
culture, us Hispanics, like our culture. Y'all got culture.
Now, what's
And the
interesting?
one they and it, when we didn't have a culture, when they stripped it from us, we built our own.
Right.
Yes,
So so so
exactly.
so we
So
so
my
we
thing is
we
like,
as the
God damn, man.
creators, we the creators of content.
Wh-
You know what I mean? If I couldn't
Yeah.
come up with, I would be mad too. You know what I mean? I would be like, nah, I can't let you be.
I
Like,
mean,
we
like,
have
I
the
know
we
I
have the
say some
Wait,
origin.
things that
We
people
have the
are like,
avenue.
oh, don't tiptoe.
I'm just
Okay, go
very
ahead.
outspoken.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead, finish.
I was just saying I'm very outspoken about it. And some people have a hard time with things I say when I say that. When I say they don't have a culture, everything they have built has been taken by other cultures.
That's spot on. That is
Exactly.
that is. I mean,
Fucking Taco Tuesday pisses me off, man. Like, I'm not
no,
even, I'm joking, but it's like, God, man, build your own shit.
nah, I feel you. Oh
Okay,
man,
so anyways,
Let's get back to the music.
I really
Okay,
enjoy your music a lot. I've
so
been a big fan. Let me ask you this. Who are you? This is a question from Shaylan. Who are you listening to now, and what's on your playlist?
Oh wow. I like to do my homework. I like to see what's going on right now. Like I listen to, like, a lot of people probably gonna bug at this. I started researching the Brooklyn drill music a little bit just to see what
That's
all,
another question I have.
we'll see
Go
what all
ahead.
the hype out. It's some of that I like, some of that stuff I like, but I know I can't listen to a lot of it. It's too much. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, but I like, I listen to everything I get my hands on. But when I'm in the privacy of my own home, I play very little hip hop. You know, I'm
Mhm.
listening
Okay.
to like, I'm still listening to the soul. I'm still in that. That's my piece right there. You
Yeah, I
know,
feel you. I still listen to oldies all the time. You know.
jazz.
Yeah.
I love Frank Sinatra. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
hey, that's interesting. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I listen to
Okay.
Chick Corea. I play that on the regular. You know,
All right.
anything not
So,
take me off of my path. I don't want to be disturbed.
mhm.
Also listen to some. I listen to rock, some here and
Yeah,
there.
I like some rock.
But I
Yeah.
also
So
have wicked album collection. Like, I've been collecting albums
Mhm.
since I was able to go. And
don't
most of
don't
my albums
man,
are
don't get me started on that. I lost my collection. Yeah.
uh
But it's
man.
all good. I'm building it back. But I had the thing about drill is somebody said what wanted to know what your thoughts is on drill music coming out of New York, and would you ever think of doing uh getting on the drill beat?
Um yeah, I would get on a drill beat. I have done so many different types of songs. Like, sometimes I look at my discography and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's like, and I've done a bunch of songs on whack ass beats. Like beats I would never choose for myself. Like, and I hate trying to emulate somebody.
Yeah.
And one time I did a song, it was over like a kind of a drill beat. And the song was about like doing drive-bys, and I really hated it. So what I did, I reversed I did reverse psychology on the track. You know what I mean? So I
Wow.
dropped it on street hood vibes a little bit. So I had to make it comfortable to do it, because I'm not doing no drive-bys. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
don't do that. I have no interest in that. But that was the name of the song. The name of the song was, I don't want to say that,
Yeah.
but it's, I had to dig deep and flip it. You
Right.
know what I mean? And it was
Mhm.
crazy because, like, a week prior to that, this little girl had got shot in a drive-by. Um,
Yeah.
Rihanna, I forgot her last name, but it was a little young girl that was in Brownsville. So I was like, yo, I
And
wound
they
up playing,
wanted to do that song like
huh?
they wanted to do a song
Yeah,
about drive-bys after that.
yeah, yeah,
Shaking my
yeah.
damn head, man.
I don't think dudes was in tune, but it was just, that was the vibe. These are dudes that's, that's their life. They on it like that. So
Yeah.
I I've been in some interesting places, and I've been able to do good there. So I'm
Mhm.
lucky, but I like to switch it up. I like to test my parameters sometimes. So, but I can't see me rhyming like dudes though. I would have to still bring my formula to that track.
Mhm.
Right.
You know. So,
And
So let me ask you, because we were having such a deep conversation. What religion or spiritual traditions do you follow? Because we listen to your music and we hear the
right.
influences of Rastafarianism, Islam, Eastern philosophy, 5% Nation,
Nation. Yep.
um, Christianity.
pretty
You're a
much,
mixture of
Just curious.
everything.
you see the
Yeah.
back, right? You just pretty much name like my whole, like, you just pretty much name every book over here. The Quran, the Bible, this the holy tablets.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I mean?
got that one.
I got the Book of Mormon up
Wow.
here.
I don't have
You know,
that one.
Mhm.
I got a lot of stuff. I got some, you know, I like to what I tell people, I'm gonna take a quote from Professor X. You know what I mean? Brother Jay, he said, "My religion is reality. My religion is reality.
Mhm.
Reality.
Come take a
Yeah.
drink from the great verb
Great
stick."
purpose. Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
and I like to cross-reference stuff, you know, and to see, you know, how it can serve me in
And
this
I always,
day and time. You know,
yeah, I
I
always think we all have a little piece of the puzzle, and you just have to put it all together.
that's right.
Yeah,
That's
because
right.
I like that because that's me too. I've read the Quran. I mean, I did some time. So, okay.
Oh,
I've read the Bible, the Quran. I've read so many books, Book of Enoch, everything.
hmm,
And I like to think that there is no one true, like, it's kind of like,
yeah,
I think everything goes together, right? There's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And it's just no reason why I have to be Catholic, right? When I
right.
don't believe in what they preach. When and I read all these books and I gain something from every single one of them that I've put to my philosophy and my way of thinking, and I just feel it's universal.
Right.
Like, spirituality could be reality like that, and universal. It don't have to be just one thing.
Yeah, you gotta think like
Well,
like the Bible was the first book that I really like read from
Yeah,
cover to cover,
me too.
like by
Full of
default.
times.
'Cause, you know, staying in them hotels, they had the I stole so many Bibles out of the hotels, and I'll be in there reading and marking up stuff and writing notes on the side, and
Right.
I
mhm.
marker, I have my yellow marker, and I just be like, you know, just studying the
What's
story.
what's interesting to me is in the Old Testament they talk about Enoch and they say that he was the one that never died. God just took him. But they
Right,
didn't include the book of Enoch, right? In the Bible.
right,
And the book
right.
of Enoch is pretty interesting. I mean,
Well, the thing,
you know,
what what I've always found is there are four things I truly believe in, and that is the earth, water, fire, and air. I know that. I
Element.
know those things are here. So
Right.
yeah, I
I
believe
just
in a supreme being, but I don't
I kind of, and I think that it's just historically our people. The
might
stories
be
that were told, the beliefs that were held, all had meaning,
Right.
and it just had meaning that um encompassed everyday life
Right.
and how you're supposed to move on this earth. And so for me, the stories in the Bible are great for moral value or whatever, but
basically.
I think they're kind of misinterpreted, and I think people are trying to apply words that were written before Christ to 2021, and
Yeah,
it's just not
the history is
possible.
supposed to renew
That's
itself
that's
every
exactly it.
2,500 years, right?
They use it to the way they want to use it and they misinterpret it a lot. I think it's just basically what it stands for, basic instructions before you, like, these are just concepts and parables that you could just learn from. Doesn't mean it's, yeah, this is what you need to do. I
Yeah.
think you could take it in and apply it to however you want to your life. There's some lessons in
So
there.
Yeah.
let's go back to hip hop.
Yeah,
Get it.
people are gonna be like, "What's going on
But I
here?
just
This
felt
supposed to
like
be hip
for
hop."
some reason, I just see all of the books behind you, and
Well,
I just had to ask.
could I ask a hip hop question then related to this, and then we can go
Yes.
to the next thing. General Steele, brother. I want to, since we're speaking about this right now, what was the inspiration behind the title "The All" for that, and what does the all mean to you? What does that encompass?
Wow.
That's a good question.
Good one. Good question. Good question. Well, the all, the inspiration of that was pretty much like, uh, what is important to Tech and Steele, and why are they important to other people? Like, what type of conversation that we can have, um, in this forum that people will give a damn about, you know? So we try to bring some real, like, we try to bring ourselves as opposed to rapping flows and all of this stuff. Like, we're talking about some serious experiences. We got letters to our kids, and we've we had to basically, in a nutshell, we knew we had to tell the story from the young Tech and Steele to who these guys are now, and bring it back in full circle. So the all is everything that we went through. It's everything that we believe, our ideals, our friends, our family, our struggles, triumphs, and yeah, just trying to be groovy with it. Not trying to bring you down. You know, we having serious conversations over beats, and you still want to have a little bop to it, and you don't want to make people sad. So it's like, when I say I really miss grandma, she made the best cakes. Like, that's it's a 360, or should I say a 180, because sometimes you talk about your lost family members,
Right.
it's something, it's sad. But we wanted to we wanted to try to stay away from that. We want to try to uplift people. Like, whatever you went through in life, good, bad, or ugly, that's the thing that made you the type of person that you are today. The strength, your your convictions, and it was just about being real, 100% real.
Yeah, that's exactly what I told my kids. I said, when I go, I don't want to mourn. I want you guys to throw a party, celebrate my
Right,
life.
right. I went through a journey, and it was a fabulous journey. You know, I want to be able to celebrate the things, and sometimes taking losses is just make space for some new gains.
Yeah, yeah. That
Like,
that. So, let me ask you: are you working on anything that you plan on dropping? I mean, because I know you. I know Smif-N-Wessun with they just dropped that track, right?
yeah, eyes open joint.
Yeah, and that's a great track. I love it. But do you have anything solo or a feature you're doing?
Well, we just did. We just, man, we just did a whole bunch of stuff, man. We got so many features with other people that we got there floating out in the world. It's a lot. It's a lot. I got a joint out there with Cormega that's coming out.
Oh,
New project. Tech dropped a solo album as well, and he
hmm,
got a bunch of songs with guys like AZ. He
yeah.
got some high power cats on there. We about to do a song with Capone. Capone and Daz Dillinger got a joint, an album that they're working on, and
Daz, huh?
he just reached us. He just reached out. We got to do that. We just did a joint for K Slay.
Nah.
The Rolling Two
Nice.
shot the video in Brooklyn. Me, Tech, and Rockness Monster. Um,
Mm.
my partner in crime, my queen is she just finished the film with her friend Lin Q. Lin Q directed. Uh, my partner produces. She's a producer for Bucktown USA, which is our company, and her good friend Salome wrote the treatment. So it's a short film about coming up in Brooklyn. It's pretty much the characters is all females at the moment, and I'm just currently just finished doing a song, like a theme song for that project. We're
Oh,
trying to
that's dope.
put it in all these different places, and
Yeah,
but
that is go. And the album you were talking about, that tech drop, is it the one that's called Priceless with the dollar
yes,
signs? Yeah, just
yeah,
so people know when they watch it,
yes,
you guys should check it out. It is a dope album.
yeah. And it's
Yeah.
crazy because it's totally different. Like, it's tech, right?
Yeah.
Albums, our projects are reflective of who we are as individuals, and we're still able to come together and do the Smif-N-Wessun thing. That's like that's the
Yeah.
gem right there. But we have been talking about going back down south and possibly doing the next project with Knife Wonder. But
Mm.
with the COVID, it has been, traveling has been a little bit
Right.
sketchy. Things start to open up. This is one of the things that we be talking about. I might be premature with that, but what the heck? You know what I mean? It's real. It's definitely, it's not too many people that we talking about working with. Pete Rock is another one. Beat My
Mm-hmm.
what
Oh,
we close to home, close to the bosom. But I am working on I'm working on a poetry book. Like I got a bunch of short poems that I wrote a couple of years ago, and I wanted to try my hand at my literary skills and spread it out a little bit. Do something different.
oh yeah. I would be interested in that too.
Hmm.
Yeah. So when you do this with Daz, are you coming to Cali or
No,
just
I
email type of thing?
yeah, we're gonna get up with Capone because Capone is out here, so we probably gonna get uh, just go to the studio. Uh, Never know, Daz might pop up out here, but we definitely um gonna record it in New York somewhere.
Yeah. No, I was just saying because I'd be like 7 hours away. I'm driving. See if Chris by.
So
Yeah. No, I'm joking.
let me
Uh,
ask you how did the boot camp quick form, and exactly how did y'all come up with the name Smith and Wesson?
um, I came up with all that stuff. That's me. I made up all that. Smif-N-Wessun was a cool name. Me and Tech was friends in high school, and I just thought that would be a really
Mm-hmm.
good name for a group because I felt like our connection was we was like one
Right.
and the same. He was that tight. So I'm like, yo, something like that. Like I always had concepts that I would when I was a kid, I would write stuff down. I got books, um, ideas, um, concepts, content, uh, title,
Mm-hmm.
and I would just run them over. I would run them by guys. You know, Boot Camp Click was like that was the concept that I wanted to go with because it was easy for us to be soldiers than to come out on some gangster rap.
Right.
Because I felt like
Mm-hmm.
we in the streets, we do gangster stuff. Like we're running around with Decepticons. This is a gang. You running around. But what's the evolution to that? The evolution is us growing and maturing. We're going through this boot camp. We're going through this basic training, and we're all working to sharpen our skills and our crafts. And we brothers, so that's the click. That's where the click comes from. We are the click.
Right.
Not the boot camp group or the boot camp crew. Like the click, like that. If it don't click, 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 that's what we telling ourselves. We was coming up with our own philosophies, discipline, patience, and obedience, um, mobilization, information, communication. We have these different standards and and we was basically teaching each other, training each other, to be better. You know,
I
so
love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love
yeah.
That
that.
is
Yeah. I like that. You
so.
know?
But that's
It's
how.
Oh.
just
But the conception is interesting because I was the first guy to rap. Like I just coming off, I was
Mm-hmm.
trying stuff, and I was going by the name of MC Steele. You know, and so I would come up to my projects, Cephalo Project in Brownsville, and and yeah, and I was basically like, I had a got a makeshift, not even a studio, but I was able to procure two turntables, and we was practicing in my auntie's house. We started making tapes. I met Rockness Monster. He lived across the street from me in the next building. Um, Tech didn't start rhyming till a little bit later. Top Dog, that's my brother, so everybody was there in in Auntie's house while we was recording. So it was a happenstance. Like Rock was, I met him, he was already a beast, right? Um, I knew Sean Price from Brownsville because he lived around the corner from my grandmother. And I went to a program in Brownsville with him called the Heritage House when we was like about 7, 8 years old. So like these guys was there. There was no searching and looking for any of this stuff. These guys was there. Buckshot was this. Buckshot was the X factor because I went to school. I went to night school with his sister Tracy, and we was very close. She was cool, one of them cool chicks. You know what I mean? We cracked jokes in class and all that.
Yeah.
And then at the time, she was like, "Yo, I seen you on TV." I was doing all these different like variety shows and stuff as a solo artist. And she was like, "Yo, I dance." And fast forward, she's like, "You got to meet my brother. My brother's a dancer. He's nice. He does all these flips, acrobatics." So that's how we started to come together. We stuck together.
Yeah, I love that. So you guys were all already had the bond and have formed all these like brotherhood, and sisterhood. When
Mm-hmm.
before you guys even started actually rapping together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is dope.
was a,
Like
it was a,
that.
it was an amazing journey. I mean, good, the bad, and ugly. It was an amazing journey to go from being in the projects to go all of your brothers, all your friends, all your media. It's not everybody, but you could carry the flag, you could carry the torch for them because the whole hood now is like they street teaming for us. They like, you from the projects, you from where we from. We would go out to the hood, give out stickers, give out CDs, cassettes, give out T-shirts, clothes. You know what I mean? We did for like about 9 years straight. We were doing concerts in our hood, free concerts. And it was just something that to give the people an opportunity to see what success looks like. This is
See,
from
and
your
So let me ask you, how has touring influenced you? Because there's a lot of people who never even make it out of off their block,
block.
nonetheless, around the world. So
right.
how has that influenced you personally?
It allowed me to grow. It allowed me to have like a more, I guess, in-depth outlook on my position in this hip hop culture. It's
Hmm.
deeper than rap. It's deeper than rap. How Rick Ross said, it's in hip hop. How RBG said, and then you have this community. We are one huge community. That's
Hmm.
powerful impact. Boom. So
Yeah.
like I just say,
Word. Powerful impact. Boom from the cannon.
uh, getting off the block is super therapeutic. Meeting people
Hmm.
across the country that you have certain commonalities with is mind blowing. It's definitely takes you to a place where you start seeing the growth and development of yourself as a person and the culture. You know,
Hmm.
not to mention eating different foods and
Right.
you know,
You
eating
get
all
to
these different.
experience, taste, and see other
Mhm.
cultures.
I'm New
So let
York
me
to the
ask you
bone.
something.
I be homesick, but I love to get out. I love to get away because
Hmm.
any one place too much, it can be debilitating sometimes. It'll drive you crazy on
Yeah,
the low, don't even realize it. You know what I mean? So getting
I
out,
agree.
And I think it's important. I think when you travel, I haven't been able to get overseas yet, and it is one of my dreams. But I think when you travel, especially when you get to meet Black people that are in different areas.
hmm
I actually had somebody tell me there's no Black people in Switzerland, and I'm like, what? How can you not know there are Black people in Switzerland? It's a lot of people who didn't know there were Black people around the world until the Black Lives Matter marches, and
It's
they seen all these Black people from other countries who are experiencing the
that's
same thing that we're experiencing here,
that's right.
and that's why traveling is important.
That's
Tina
right.
it, it
Turner's in
it's.
Switzerland.
I think it's
Yeah,
important too to travel and to get to see other cultures because it's important to see that. I know I came from the hood, but to go say to the UK or wherever, Africa, you can go to Russia and see some of these and see people that are going through the same thing.
hmm
And you realize it's not just your just your area. It's everywhere. And
It's
people, experiencing their culture, their foods, and learning about their philosophies, stuff like that. I think it's
I
important.
was I was blessed to go to Africa, to Cape Verde, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't for business. So we was actually touring.
Right.
I was a tourist in Cape Verde. But the beauty is like, oh man, it's like, I'm from the projects. I know poverty and I know the beauty of it as well. But when I go to this place and you see the poverty and you see the simplicity of how people live, and it's gorgeous though. It's gorgeous. It makes sense that somebody want to come there and steal, because they dealing with the Chinese. The Chinese government, they was given um uh how do you say, they was given the rights to fish in the waters out there for
Mm-hmm.
like 40 years, some old wild number. And then they came, and it's the stories out there. We had got a pretty good historic view, a lesson, if.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, just walking through the jungle, uh just looking at the food growing off what I mean, off the
Right.
vine, like, type of things. Like, all right, yeah, people came here and was stealing this stuff. But then
Right.
you see the brothers up there in the mountains, they making the rum. You know, they everything they do themselves. They get the fish, they go out and do that.
Mm-hmm.
They the mangoes, the like, we was grabbing mangoes off the tree, eating them right off. I'm like, yo, this is pretty cool. But then
Yeah. I
I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
be
experienced
honest.
that when I.
Hold up, this is a funny story though, Tiptoe. This is a
Okay.
funny, right? Before even going to overseas, like, going to Jersey was great. You know what I mean? Like the
Mm-hmm.
first time
I've
we
been
went
there.
to California, because I ain't know nothing about California. So I'm like, I'm a little kid in the candy
Mm-hmm.
store. So automatically, I'm gonna just show you the ignorance. Like, I just thought I was just gonna see a bunch of Bloods and Crips all over the place when I went there. So I was like, anybody with a red shirt or blue, I was like, they gotta be in the gang. You know what I'm saying? But it was an old man, or an old lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't
You
know
know,
nothing about LA. You were so young and green, right? And it's like going to the West Coast itself. It's
we're
such an
that's a
experience.
different we're a different atmosphere because like where I'm at in Tucson, we're very much like LA. There's different like
You in
little.
Arizona.
Yeah, I'm in
You
Arizona.
know what's crazy? Rockness Monster, uh, he frequents out in Arizona. I forget what party he's in though.
Hey, yeah, so
Where
we're
at?
kind of like LA, just a little smaller, but it's the same concept. You got certain neighborhoods, they could be a street away from each other, but that could be blood, that could be crip. You know what I mean? Then you
Yeah.
got the SS, and you got this, you got that, and then you got like areas that are like what people call little Mexico because
Mm.
it's nothing but
Mm-hmm.
little Mexican stores and shops and stuff like that. But when I used to
But
go
I
to
think.
Mexico, I would experience like I would see the poverty there in some areas where they're literally living in cardboard boxes, a whole
Hmm.
family, and they're all working and doing things and they don't have electricity, but they're still happy.
Right.
That blew
It's-
me away because I'm over here in America. I can go grab me a burger. I got electricity. I
Right.
got remote control. And I'm over here bitching sometimes.
Right. We
You know
be
what
we
I
be
Well,
picking
mean?
the wrong fights, right? We be picking the wrong fights sometimes. But it's
Right.
I
very humbling experience to travel though.
I think that's the beauty of growing up in the South and growing up poor, because we had a outhouse and waited every year for that Sears and Roebuck's catalog, the big
Yeah.
thick one, and that one went next to the hole in the outhouse, and you just sit and
Yeah.
you had to rub that paper till it got soft.
Yeah. We had that at my nana's house too.
So I mean, it's a different. I think growing up without a lot of times makes you um I know that even if all the electricity went out,
Yeah.
if every car on the earth stopped moving, we have 3 horses, a couple of shotguns. I can, we gonna eat.
The maneuver,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
That's
gonna know how to
exactly.
maneuver. We
Hmm.
we gonna be able to get where we need to get. We still got a wagon. We got,
That's right.
Yeah.
we gonna be able to make it. So I think teaching those kind of basic skills are something that we really need to get back to, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the rate we're going in this world, it just look at the cold here in Texas this past winter.
Oh man. Woo.
It
I
shut the
mean,
whole city down.
Yeah, yeah.
We
people
That's
were
slept in our
flipping out
car.
because IG was down. And I'm like,
We
you really
slept in
don't
our cars.
understand.
That's how cold it was. And they did rolling blackouts. But on the in
uh,
the black side of towns, the blackouts were like 12 and 13 hours.
see, that's bullshit.
So
Texas
I think
government
it,
is shady as fuck, though.
well, this is
They
Texas.
are.
What do you expect?
I
I don't
know.
expect nothing more than that from Texas. But I I was, so who had, since you mentioned powerful impact, who had the most powerful impact
Are you
on
there?
you as an
Can
artist
you hear
and
me? I
personally?
can't hear you.
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
The person who had the most powerful impact on me as an artist, as a person, was my father. You hear me?
Why? Yes, I can hear you.
Um,
Why?
because he never knew his father.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't turn him into an animal. That made him want to make sure he took care of everything he can do as far as being a father. He worked 2 jobs, provided for us, um, and still was able to hold on to his sanity. Now he had some issues, as we all do,
Mm-hmm.
some vices, as we all do, and it took me to really lose him to realize how dope a person he was. How
Yeah.
intelligent he was, and how beautiful human he was. Because for a long time, I was mad at my father. You know,
Mm-hmm.
for a few different reasons, I was mad at him. And before he passed away, I had 2 sons of my own, and I
Mm-hmm.
watched my dad show them like love, like I don't remember seeing. Cause I was so angry, I had the
Mm-hmm.
veil over my eyes. I forgot that he's just a human being that's going through what he's going through, and I forgot to have those conversations with him. So it's a humbling experience
Yeah.
to go. He's whatever he's going through, he feels just like I feel, and
Mm-hmm.
he was able to show us the love that we needed. I miss him immensely. That's his Quran that I got. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So his strength, his weaknesses, him playing music when he was sad, him playing music when he was happy. He fed me. He fed my soul. I got him on my arm. Got him on my arm. Pop Dukes. You know what I'm saying? But he's an influencer. Powerful impact for real. You know.
Yeah.
My
I
bad. I'm
think
sorry.
we all have those moments of understanding, and I I always thought my dad loved us as much as he knew how to,
Right.
and it took some years because we all are working through our stuff, and it took some years for him to work through his stuff. But the way he loves on his grandkids, we don't remember that. But it's beautiful to see him do it with his grandkids. So we're all in a learning and evolving place.
Yeah.
And so I think that was wonderful that you shared that, because there's a lot of people who have this resentment or
Yeah,
this built up anger, and they don't realize that your parents are just human.
that's right.
It's true. I
Right.
have the same thing, like my mom in my relationship, but when I see her with my brother's kids or my grandkids, it's a whole different thing.
Mm.
And you could see
Mhm.
it's just different, but it's true. Parents, I'm a parent. I made lots of mistakes, but my kids and I are very close. But
Fact
yeah,
that, you know, he grew up without a father. Like, no, the only male presence he had was his uncle. One
yeah,
one uncle. But he lived with his moms, and she was tough. She was tough in Brownsville, tough lady. 40
yeah.
drinking,
Mhm.
smoking, curse you out,
That's me.
lickety
Tough
split.
on my boys and my daughter because I was a single mom until I met my husband
Mm-hmm.
years later. My sons were already teenagers, early teenagers.
Mm.
So I was tough on my kid. I was the kind of tough that was like, if you got your ass kicked, we going back and you better beat his ass. That type of tough. Like, don't come over here. Don't come home with your ass
Beat up.
kicked.
Mama's
And
That's,
free.
see, I was a total
but
opposite
loving
kind of
too.
parent because we were so I went a total opposite direction. I think I hit my kid one time, and that was when she stuck her hand in the oven.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I would. Yeah.
I I felt completely awful after I did
Of
it,
course. Of course.
and I never spanked her again
Girl,
because
my
it
sons burnt down
I
the
always
ditch.
thought, where did we learn that hurting each other is
It's
the
teach.
way to discipline?
Right.
but
And then once
but
you really
sometimes
think
it's
about where
needed.
you learned it from, once you think about where you learned it from, then you think, okay, there has to be
And
another way because other people have
Mhm.
managed to raise normal, productive kids without beating them with a race car track.
right.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to beat them with a race car track, but like when you have more than one child, let me tell you, I have three boys.
I'm a
My two
mandated
oldest
reporter.
are
I just
10
want y'all
months
to know.
apart, and my youngest is a year younger than my second. Them three boys put me through shit. Burning down ditches. I came home. My cousin was babysitting. They were playing Cowboys and Indians and had knife marks in my wall because they were throwing knives at each other. Sometimes you can't be like, hey, let me talk to you. This isn't right. An ass spanking on the ass sent to the room is needed sometimes, in my opinion.
I'm
Now, I
a
got my
mandated
ass kicked as a
reporter.
kid, but I didn't do that to
So,
them. I disciplined
so
them.
n- you talk about losing the loss of your father. How did you deal with losing someone like Sean Price?
Oh,
I'm still dealing with it. You know,
P.
Hmm.
it's never.
yeah.
Um, he was a definitely powerful influence for all of us. Um,
Hmm.
he's in my opinion, he's the most honest guy. He's one of the most honest guys I've ever met in my life. You know,
It's a hard one.
yeah, 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 yeah. Now he's definitely the realest one in out of the entire boot camp clique. Like he keeps it real with you, and he loves hard. You know, so yeah, it was difficult, man, because he was a lot of things to a lot of us. Everybody has their own relationship with this gentleman, and it was extremely difficult. You know what I mean? It was difficult to watch his kids and his wife, you know, struggle through that. But it was beautiful to see how many people loved this guy. You know,
Yeah.
it was dope to see
Do you?
like Jay-Z make a donation to his family.
Hmm.
You know, it's like, and Sean said Jay-Z is nice. Sean Carter is nice, but Sean Price is the best. Like, it's not a diss, it's just a witty line,
It's not.
right? But it
Hmm.
shows the camaraderie in hip hop when you lose somebody that's powerful. People love him. Eminem came out and dropped something on the books for his family. So it was healthy to see that he made an impact, that he made a real powerful impact on people.
That's
Mhm.
amazing because I don't think they told anybody they went and dropped, and
You know,
it's hard on hip hop too, the loss. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just like Bismarcky being gone, DMX and Fred Godson, but
it was like it was a damn war, right? It was just bodies, just pop, 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 pop. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
doom doom doom
It
doom
was.
doom doom. It was
It
hard,
just felt
yo,
like
like
body blows.
we lost goddamn X, man. That don't even sound right. DMX is
right?
dead.
Mm-mm.
Sound right.
Yeah, it
I'm
it,
still
it was just
going.
happening too much. It just seemed like 1 week, then a week passed, and there are you see R.I.P. It's like what?
Yeah,
The- do you think the boot camp clique will ever get the recognition it deserves in boom bap?
nah, I don't. I think you just gotta kind of be happy with your diehards. The
Yeah,
diehards get it.
Mm.
You know, I don't think there's gonna be any but shows for us. No crap like that. We just gotta be happy with the work that we've done. You know, and
it's
especially
amazing work.
of us, it's been difficult to even, you know, record together, like as a
Mhm.
whole entire unit. You know, it feels awkward.
I
Why do
feel
you
you.
Mhm.
think? Sorry,
I have a
question.
question.
One sec, General
Wait
Steele.
a minute.
Why do you?
Uh,
Why do you think? Can I ask? One sorry.
Shoot it.
One
Go
sec,
ahead,
General Steele. I
ask
think
yours.
SP. It sounds like SP saying the connection's messed up. Um, why do you think you are overlooked? Because I did bring this up when I was talking about interviewing Mr. Walt. Salute to him, man. Salute to everybody
Salute.
who came click. When I was going to speak to him, everybody's like, "Man, you brought a boot camp? Oh man, Black Moon." Man, they don't get enough shot. And just the way they were ranting, I was like, damn, okay. I'm like, well, I'm naming the podcast that. So I'm like, I recognize, but the way that he was so adamant, and he's from Brooklyn, so maybe that might be it too. But he was saying, man, they get overlooked. When you talk about boom bap hip hop, this and that, yo, they get a little mention like, yeah, into the stage, and then it's on to the
Yeah,
next. And it's like, how
yeah,
come they not in the top 10 crews? How come they not in the top 10 group? And I was just like, damn, all right, cool. How come there ain't no black pictures up on the wall, Sal? So,
right.
Steele, what do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Y'all are like unsung heroes.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it's twofold. Honestly, I have to take. I would like me. I'm a hard critic. I'm probably my hardest critic. I think that two factors. Boot camp clique never partnered up or bowed down with nobody. You know what I mean? We never had to compromise um our styles or our codes. Whereas a lot of rappers they get in bed with other people, so um, a lot of times you have uh, a lot of different factors where people are working together. Boot camp clique has always been self sufficient. Y'all still there? Y'all hear me?
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious why they disappeared, and you're clear. You're the only one who never chopped up through this whole thing. Yeah, no. You good. You good.
Well,
Keep.
well,
I'm wondering, do you
just
think it's a budget thing too? Like, maybe this one had the big funding and y'all want the independence. Like, I just wonder what it is that
I think,
doesn't put that spotlight.
bro. I mean, I think it was a lot. I think a lot of those things played the factor. Um, we started out. We started out with a small budget. And we did the album with the Shine, and then we came back to visit the contract. We wanted more money. So like a year later, we already got contract issues. We sat down for like 3-4 years. You know, we was under the wrap. We just get out. We just started buzzing, and we had to sit down. At the same time, Black Moon had to sit down. We was lucky enough to come out with these guys, right? Fat Five, and
Le
they
flum, le
helped.
fla,
They helped.
escoshka.
So
Mhm.
I think the other part, honestly, and this is just me from my honest standpoint, I think the boot camp clique could have worked harder. There were so many different factors.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
And you release so much. I like that humbleness, but y'all release so much music that I'm like, that's like SZA saying, man, I should have put out some more records,
No,
Sizzler, right? Like, I ain't putting out enough records. I only released 4. Shoot, man.
nah,
I need to put out. Y'all got a serious catalog, brother. Like,
no, we do.
no
You do.
disrespect. Y'all on the Wu-Tang level with dropping stuff left and
Yeah.
right when you really think about it. Maybe not solo, but collectively and everything. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm
Nah,
gonna cut you
I,
off.
I, I, I always think about that. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm like, damn, man, boot camp, man. I could have did a lot more. Could have did a lot more stuff. It's like sometimes at the height, you still a little bit green. We
Mhm.
Y'all came
from
out the gate hot. Y'all came
we,
out the
yo,
gate hot.
you gotta think about the times too, right? The times was interesting. So when we came out, we wasn't compromising. We came out real. We was 10 boots and hoodies. So we wasn't trying to take you away from the norm. It wasn't coming out on some silly mess. And it was real, I guess, how you say,
Raw.
raw, grassroots,
Yes.
homegrown, so people can really. And then we just kept hitting, bang, bing, bing, bing.
And
Black
it
Moon,
really,
help
like,
yourself.
everybody. I'm sorry. Still, you know what? Everybody talks about, and I'm not. This is no slight at Jay, but everybody talk about out the trunk and independent, whatever. But when you really think about it, y'all were really on that tip before a lot of people. So it's East Coast. You had Too Short and them on the West, but on the
Right.
East, y'all were unnervous. Then y'all disappeared on that, and then y'all started really bubbling on your own, like you said. And I don't think you guys get the credit even for that, for the business
Mhm.
acumen. And then my question is, who is Dru Ha? How does Dru Ha come into this? Because it seems like he like put the powder keg with y'all.
Dru Ha, that's the big cheese. Monterey Jack. That's the that's the big man. I love that guy, man. That guy he has such a beautiful heart. You know what I'm saying? Like he basically started at Nervous as an intern, and him and Buck created an amazing relationship. Um, and from that relationship, their bond is incredible. Like their trust, their loyalty to each other, and they're two geniuses, man. Like Buck is a space cadet, man. Like dude, he's so advanced, and a lot of times, like if you hear these guys talk, like it sound like Mandarin. It's like, yo, y'all are somewhere else. These guys,
Mhm.
their union is one for the books. Dru Ha is very important, and a lot of things wouldn't get done without him and Buckshot. Um, as a collective, they really put the duck down together. I mean, we had offices up the block from Puff Daddy, you know. So
Back then,
I don't know. Some points, man, it was a lot of CBing. There was some cock blocking going on. There was some hatred going on. It's like nobody. We splitting bread between each other. We ain't buying.
Mhm.
We're not buying friends or buying likes or buying fans. We really earning it the raw way, and sometimes that type of honesty, that type of it can be brutal. It could be a slow
Yeah.
grind, you know.
I have a question, okay? Because like I kind of look like at you guys. Kind of, a lot of people always mention, the Wu Tang, but your guys' catalog to me and the way you guys maneuver, like, and they got that Wu Tang saga going right now. Would
Right.
you guys ever tell your story, like either in a book or in a series, in that type a documentary?
documentary.
Because I like that is something I've always wanted
And I
to
think
come out.
hip hop deserves that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
We got to win the
whether it's a
lottery and
book
sponsor that.
form, whether it's a book form, I love reading, so I would like that's something I've always wanted.
Well, I will tell you this, Tiptoe. I have been working on the book, um, the boot camp story. I've been working on that for some time. Um, it's tough though.
It
It,
is.
it seems like you know everything, but it's
Mhm.
still something about that. It's not as easy as you might think it is. Because for me, I'm like, I'm getting nostalgic. I'm getting teary eyed. I'm like, let me put this down for a little bit. But then in certain parts where it's this release, this therapy. When I start talking about, you know, what we speak about, well, how did these guys meet?
Right.
And then I'm reading my story like it's not even me. I'm going, wow, that was kind of ill.
Yeah, it's very hard to write it, but I've been writing my autobiography, my life story for a long time, and it's taking forever because it's very hard. There's a lot of things, and it is good therapy too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So,
but a documentary is in the works as well. You know, we like I said, partner. Her specialty is film and production. It's unfortunate because, you know, we missing a major part of that, but we have, you know, we have built up some archival stuff. But it would be interesting. It would definitely be interesting.
It would. Would it be factual based or kind of like, because like the Wu-Tang saga, there's some factual, but then they kind of throw in extras for like, you know, film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Little funny parts, stuff that didn't really happen.
I mean, I think that is so much content in our real stories that we wouldn't have to do too much of that. But then there's some really sensitive issues, you know, that's important, and we might have to
do the statute of limitations, stuff like that. Statute of limitations.
Yeah. You might have to move some things around.
Allegedly,
you know.
I kind of like the factual base, like, you know.
Yeah, I think.
So when
I'm watching this BMF story too,
Me
right
too.
now.
Oh yeah,
I'm interested. This is pretty dope.
I'm finished. I'm waiting for the next episode because it's so good, right?
Yeah. I like to watch real stories. And I like to be entertained as well.
Me too.
Because sometimes you could do a documentary and it'll be like
good night.
Eating cardboard.
It'd be like,
yo, we're putting it out there right now, General Steele. We're putting it out there right now. We need 50 Cent to executive produce the Boot Camp Click story. Because one thing I gotta say, he does a great job at this TV and movie. Like, I can't front. He does a good job. I don't want him to have any creative control over it, but I want him to finance and we're putting this out there, man. Some big heads now. We gotta get this.
He has definitely and I'm proud of him on that level too, man. You know?
Yeah.
But
when it's all
God willing, that'll be something for the books, and I think it's important to definitely document.
I think so too.
Me too.
Yeah, you guys need it. Like, it needs to be told. I think you guys are, you know, very underrated, underappreciated. I'll say that underappreciated in hip hop, and it just drives me crazy because I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah, but you know what? I'm gonna say highly decorated though. It's weird, underappreciated, but still to me, highly decorated.
Sometimes I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes when I be watching these little BET specials and these little some of these, you know, these little award shows, and I be reading some things like some people.
I shit is more John Blaze than that. I shit is more John Blaze.
Really good. How come they skipped over us?
Right.
Right.
Some of these top 10 lists piss me off a lot. You know, that they be floating around.
Yeah. But you know,
when it's all,
I will say this though. I love my fans. Word up. I love them. I talk, I speak with them. I listen to them. I take advice. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, that's the blessings. You know, whether it's received, you know, on a this monolithic scale. Like I appreciate the fans that allow me to go to Italy or go to Africa or go to North Carolina. I'm able to, like, my family, my team, the Boot Camp Click. Yo, you right. We are highly decorated because we're able to do songs with Tupac. We're able to record with Biggie. We're able to get on a joint with Busta Rhymes. We're able to do, like, everybody in this game on this high caliber, like, they understand that we family. And they also understand, you know, it's a lot of propaganda that'll keep you in the back room sometimes.
Yeah.
but we have the respect of the people who do the stuff, and we got the respect of the people who I guess who crave it. And I think that's a blessing.
And believe me, your fandom is way bigger than the United States, because
Yeah.
Lord AAA is in Saudi Arabia, and
Mm.
he is the biggest boot camp click fan.
He's a big
He
fan.
could. Oh,
I
he's a
I
big
ever met.
fan.
He's bigger than
Yeah.
me, and I ever met. That dude in Clubhouse arguing people down about y'all legacy.
Yeah.
Ready
Yeah.
to go toe to toe. I don't care where
Bro.
you from. I'm in Saudi Arabia, BBC all day. I'm like, okay.
We host
He'll start spitting your
versus
verses.
battles
Wow.
And it's a
in
different time
Clubhouse.
zone. It's a different
Right.
time zone. And he's out there
Yeah.
like, yo, it's 2 a.m, man. Yo, and you're like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And he goes in
BCC
there.
for life.
SP,
I
I'm
still get hyped about
surprised
stories.
that he didn't say, "Can I be in the battle and do like pick them?" He wanted to do Havoc versus Q-Tip. So, but
Well,
we
it's
do these
because
battles we host, and a person will pick who they want to be, and they'll pick 20 from them, 20 tracks, right? We host them every week, and we got you guys on our list for
Wow.
a battle, like a versus battle.
Oh, I already, I did one
Believe me,
before.
you on there. We're going to get that battle going. It's going to be dope.
Oh,
For the Boom
snap.
Bap Chat.
but the problem for Lord
DITC.
AAA is Lord AAA is like 6 hours ahead of us.
Yeah.
So when we're doing it, it's like 4 a.m. where he's at.
Wow.
Yeah, well,
So
he's doing it.
that's why.
He got his 20 tracks. He's going to do Havoc, and Leon is going to do Q-Tip.
Mm.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Let me ask.
What are you guys doing that?
Oh, we've been doing it for like this will be our 4th one.
No,
I
he's
started doing
he's asking
it on
what day.
Twitter Space.
He's
and
asking
then
what
we
day.
moved to Clubhouse.
No, what day are we gonna do the? He's asking what day we're gonna do that one.
This week. Okay,
the one with
so
BCC.
Okay, I'm not sure what the Havoc and Q-Tip will be next. Not this week, because this Wednesday we got King Crooked versus Papoose. It'll be the following week. But I got you on Twitter. I'll tag you and DM
tag me. I want to hear. I want to hear one.
Oh shit! All right, you on it? You on Clubhouse?
Hey,
that Crooked Eye.
Yeah, and then what we do is the people in the we bring them up and they vote. Like we get their vote. I'll play like a verse and the hook, and then of each person, right? Just like verses, and then we go around the room and ask who they thought took that round. It's actually fun. It's a lot of fun. But King Crooked versus Papoose, this week, Wednesday.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
Yeah, I'm big COB. I'm a big Crook fan. I got it COB tatted on my back.
That's your peoples. That's her peoples. I wanted to ask one thing. When you toured Steve, I know that you said about the best place you've been to, but I know you've done hundreds, maybe thousands. What is your most memorable performance that you could think of, or memorable night performing, and why?
That's a tough one, man.
So many.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there.
Because you went through so many, what's the word? Evolutions of hip hop. That's why I'm curious about, like, what night would it be? Because I know y'all been a part of some. I seen y'all perform with Sizzler and open up and all of that. So I'm just curious, like, what night was really like,
I would have to, like, that's such a. I'm gonna try to come with a politically correct answer. Because I think,
nah.
It's so many. But I would say.
Give us three then. Give us three then. If one is too hard.
Okay.
2 or 3. Is that fair? Does that lighten it up?
One. That's good. That's good. I can do that because it's always the first one, right? The first one for me, when I was a solo artist, was memorable. That's the first time I met Buckshot, and Buck wasn't even rapping yet. He was dancing. Him and 5FT was dancing. They was called KB1 and KB2. I had a show, like I watched other people perform and stuff, but this time I was I was my own headline. Like I was the guy, you know, and I had the wardrobe. I had female dancers. I had male dancers. I had
What?
Deuce constructor. I had my two homies come out and bring me out, and it was at Apollo Theater, right? So that's my first official performance, and I had none of this, right? I had a bald head, right? And it's memorable because that was the beginning. It was about to be on and popping after that. It was just got crazy. One during the performance, we went to South America, Bogota, Colombia.
Oh,
The entire boot camp.
Wow.
wow.
Entire
What part, if you don't mind me asking?
Bogota.
You're like, I don't know, just somewhere in South America.
No, he said
Bogota.
Bogota. He said Bogota.
Bogota?
Yeah.
Wow.
We went to Bogota and we performed. I felt like we stepped off the plane and it seemed like the whole town was at the airport waiting for us.
Yo, that's crazy.
That's dope, though.
What year was this roughly?
I swear to you, I felt
Did
like
it? But did it
felt
like
Bill
shock
Michael
you?
or something, huh?
Was it like, damn, in Bogota, they're like here for us?
It was overwhelming. We had to have like armed security, and they was like, "Yo, do not shake people's hand. Don't get caught in the crowd." Can you imagine?
We might lose you.
Yeah,
we might lose you.
You might lose you somewhere. I'm like, it was difficult because it's like there's 12 of us, and I'm talking about. It seemed like everybody was there to see us when we landed on that plane, man. I was like, "Oh,
that's love, though."
What year was this roughly? What time frame is this roughly? We talking about like what albums out? What's going on to cause all of this? Like love. What do you think that is?
I have footage of a lot of this stuff because
that's the documentary. There we go.
I kept a journal of the travels. I can't remember off the top of my head.
All right, don't worry about it. Next one more, right? There was one more.
Yeah.
Would you ever auction off your writings, like your journal, stuff like that? Because I need to save up. If you are,
I want to show you something real quick.
All right.
We're gonna do the boot camp NFT. The boot camp clip NFT.
M bought Tupac's, right? Like, well, not bought.
Yes.
Tupac's mom gave it to him.
Yeah.
But could you imagine, like Crook got a hold of Big Al's rhyme book, and he was looking at it with gloves on because he didn't want to.
Oh wow!
Dude, look at that! Wow!
So this right here, this is just the features, right?
That's
craziness.
Wow!
That's like all of the junks that I've ever done with other artists.
Thank you so much for sharing this with us, man.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's dope.
See, that's what I'm asking. Like stuff like that. Would you ever think of at some point, not now, but at some point, maybe auctioning it off or put like that should be in a hip hop museum, in my opinion.
That's exactly where it's going to go.
This is The Shining.
Are you kidding me?
Wow. See, I would have to touch that with gloves on. Because, medical gloves. Because you don't want to mess it up. You know what I'm saying?
And a mask on. You can't even breathe on that joint, man. Don't even put sunlight near that, man. That's going to fade out. Let that do it. I shine. You shine.
I have all of my files. So, yeah, I think about that at times, which is why I was doing the poetry book, because I had these things laying around and I'm like, what am I going to do with this stuff? Like, I hate things go to waste. I'm like, this is some interesting things. And I could probably have some other kind of conversations with some of the people out there on that level. So, it's always an option, right?
What's on the bucket list? You traveled everywhere, you done with it. What's a place that you would want to go that you haven't been to?
That I haven't been.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't performed in Africa. I just went out there on
Well,
a tour class.
yeah. Any
Like
particular country in there? Any particular area?
now, I would have to do a tour. I would have to hit a couple of countries.
Yo,
Can't
Ethiopia,
go
Ghana, South Africa,
spots.
Zimbabwe.
You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine Smif-N-Wessun out there? Like I want to. That's the bucket list joint right there. Like I always wanted to go to Australia. I'm just not looking forward to that long flight.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
I've been.
gotta
I
be.
went 2018 off the hook. New
Mhm.
Zealand is where you. I don't know if you touch New Zealand, but New Zealand's very
Never,
pretty, beautiful,
never.
It's on
prettiest
my
place I've
bucket
been
list.
to.
Australia.
Prettiest place I've been to, New Zealand.
I want to do a walkabout type of thing. You know,
Let
like
me.
if I go, I want to go for a good amount of time so I could kick back and do like a walkabout, get in tune with, nature and myself, stuff like that.
So when it's all said and done, and what would you what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want people to remember you?
Um, wow, heavy.
Yeah, it is.
I thought we lost him. I was scared. I was like, damn, we lost him.
I said he called me and I hit the wrong button. But um, wow, I feel like I need to do a whole nother interview to answer that.
Hey,
The name of the name of the show is Powerful Impact, brother. We're not
Powerful
playing.
impact and
Yeah.
boom,
yeah,
right? Um, I worked hard here. I worked hard here. I was able to bring on, uh, actually bring family members. I went across the world with my brothers. You know, when you talk about going in the wilderness and seeing what is there to offer and bringing it back to the family, like that was always my MO. Like I always, it was better as a solo artist. I knew that I wanted to be a part of something bigger. You know,
right.
I it was cool, but I knew it would be more powerful to have a bevy of talented people just working together. I've always encouraged, like I'm the general, I'm the soldier, I'm the one that's gonna be um I'm gonna be for the family, I'm gonna be ride side by side with the family. I'm for strength, I'm for power,
Yeah.
liberty, justice, equality, the God. They call me the good Reverend Meoff. I got that name from Sean Price, you know.
Wow.
And
P.
I don't know. I'm thinking about, like, I want to be like I'm the hip hop politician. I'm the righteous rapper, the hardcore street dabbler. I'm so many things. I'm so many things, all encompassing. I think I was created for the purpose of having communications with people, the glue, the nails, the bolts, the gears that allow us to turn and keep it moving. I want to be remembered as one of you guys, not
I love that.
all encompassed, man. We are each other, you know.
Yeah, that's a great answer.
Thank you.
And I feel you on the family thing because I'm the same way. Like I'm the one that everyone looks to in
Hmm.
times of trouble, needs, or even for good stuff.
Right. That's
So
just like organic. Like you're
right,
trying to be people's, not trying to be a know-it-all. Like, or I got the
right.
everything. Like
Mhm.
that's that.
I'm more of a giver. I don't like receiving, but I'm there all the time to give my time or anything that they need. So and then
Yeah.
you know,
I definitely want to leave some indelible before I get
yeah,
out of here. Something that you can
I
use when I ain't here. You know.
exactly.
mhm. I
Which is
think I
why
have
I'm
been
writing.
designated Big Mama.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm writing my
I think
story.
I have been designated the Big
Yeah,
Mama of the family.
Good.
it's the reason I'm writing my life story. 'Cause I've been through a lot, been shot, been stabbed, locked up, this and that, and so you know, even as a kid going through the stuff I went through with my uncle. So I'm leaving, like, that's something I'm writing because I want my grandkids to know if I go, what made me who I was when
Mhm.
the time that they knew me before I went, you know, how I became that person.
That's a great point. When my father passed away, he had lost his uncle. His mom's was gone, so he was the patriarch.
Right.
Mhm.
Um, there was a we believe that he had the book of names, the family book of names. So I spent like 3 days tearing the house up looking for this book, you know, and I thought it was important because I wanted to know who his father was, who his family was.
Right.
There was a little light hints that he had West Indian background, you know, and but he
Mhm.
the closest he got to know anything about his family on his father's side was meeting his uncle, and his uncle named Cowboy. Like, what? How you go off of that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can't hear.
I'm back.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's
Okay.
important to have that history. You know, and we talk about the Bible earlier. You talk about the whole lineage of David all the way up
Right.
to Jesus, right? It's like that's kind of
Mhm.
concept
That's
of
what my family does, though. Like my nana did it. She wrote down things about her, you know, when she was growing up, and the same thing with her grandmother. They did the same thing. And I just kind of want to do the same thing, but I'm also including my life story, like all the troubles and all the good and everything that we went through and I went through, so that they know
yeah. No, I
and
think
maybe get some lessons out of it.
that's a very that's we all should do that. I was building with KRS
Mhm.
a while back, and this is when he put out his Bible, the hip hop Bible,
Yeah,
and he was like, "Yo," he said everybody should write um their own chapter. He's
I
like,
agree.
this is just
Mhm.
one part. This is not the Bible. He wasn't trying to act like, yo, I'm the only person who can, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you need a book of SP, you need a book of Tiptoe, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody's
yeah.
story
Mhm.
could be this small, you know. Everybody's is a integral part in this collective. So
Right. We're all part of the gear
yeah,
that turns this world around.
We will keep you here until tomorrow
Right.
if you let us.
I love y'all too, man. Love
I
y'all.
think I think we should do a part two though at some point, because it I really
Whenever
found
he
this interesting. Like, you are such a great person to
Oh, thank you
talk to,
much.
and
Thank
you're insightful, and you know, and you're funny too. That, yeah, I
you.
enjoyed
Thank
this
you.
interview, man.
I appreciate you guys.
when
I would love to come back if we could kick it. And we just organically talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, whatever current events. It's a lot of stuff that's
cool.
on,
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, whenever you're ready, we're ready because I have so enjoyed this and I have been so looking forward to
Same.
talking with you. It
Thank you.
is one of the highlights of my life to be able to talk to the people that I have so admired and s- did so much to actually form the person who I am today.
Right.
So
Exactly.
even for that, I offer you so much appreciation and so
Like,
much gratitude
it in.
because
Right.
without
Bring
your
it in.
music, I don't know where we would be.
Uh,
Exactly.
that
You're
so
I
much.
SP
Appreciate
knows. I've been excited waiting for this interview. Like,
it. Mm.
I told Neville, I gotta be on that interview. I gotta be on that interview. I gotta.
She's like, I
You're
took the
one of
week
the
off of
people.
work.
I
Yo.
mean, I
Well,
listen to you
I'm
guys
I'm
all the
glad y'all
time.
decided to do it
Still
like this though. This is fun.
sharing your guys' music on Twitter. Still, like, believe me,
Yeah,
big fan.
make sure you send me the link to the clubhouse
I
too.
will. I will. Yeah.
He
I'll
going
definitely do
he
that.
he's going to do that, but he's going to sway the room. Then he going to
No,
get
no,
buckshot
he's
in
not.
there.
Hey,
They going the whole crew going to
hey,
come
you,
through.
Neville,
Yeah, we
Yo,
you
gonna
It
know
shouldn't
how
then
need
I
to
am.
be.
Yep. But what's crazy? I like both of them guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Both of them
no, I'm
guys.
right.
talking about when you come for your crew. I mean, when you come for your crew, if
Nah,
you come
because
in
you
for the
know how
BC,
I
it's a
am,
wrap.
Neville. You know I'm gonna be like, hey, you
I gotta be
guys,
anonymous.
yeah,
Yes,
nah.
yes. We're gonna
I
give
lay
you
the
another
law
account.
down.
I'm
We're
gonna
gonna
keep
give
it live
you a
though.
blank account.
Yeah.
Nah,
Sorry, I didn't mean
you'll
to
be
cut y'all
good.
off. I didn't mean to cut y'all
And
off.
I'll make sure that people aren't just sitting there trying to ask you questions the whole time because,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
like, I want them to know you're there to enjoy the battle.
That's right.
You
No,
know
but
what
if
I'm
you put
saying?
his cash
Like,
app up, they
I
all right.
had
They can ask a
artists
question
that
for
wanted to
$100.
go in,
There you
but
go.
they're like, every time I go in,
I like how you think, bro.
Yeah,
they want
man.
to interview me when I'm in there. And like, yeah, we can't have that. Like,
Nah,
Man,
well, you gotta mute them, right? You gotta just
yeah,
go.
oh, I
yeah.
will.
Yeah,
You have no idea how I am. I
you
will.
know,
I'll be
and
like,
You
I'll
put him in
get
the
kick,
out.
goulash.
I'll
Yeah.
kick them out in a heartbeat.
Get out my
Oh
mouth.
Get out.
shit! I didn't even talk about. Anyway, that's another. We're gonna talk about rude awakening. We
Can
gotta
you
talk
guys
about
hear me?
other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
you
we
hear
good.
There's
me?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
Okay.
we good. We
All
got
right.
so many other things to talk
Anyways,
about, but I'm gonna
I
leave on
can't
this
hear
note.
you
Hold on,
because
one sec.
my
One
kids
sec.
keep calling and it messes up
It's
my
me.
connection. But
Uh,
I really, really enjoyed this, man. Peace, love, respect.
Thank you,
I'm
man.
not
Thank
gonna say
you
the
so much.
rest, Neville.
all right, cool. Let me finish. You can see my little thing vibrating, right, Tiptoe? So you know I'm talking. I want to ask one. I got a ton of questions that'll be for the other interview, but I do have to ask this
Okay.
before we're
Are
done
we
right
done?
now. Not yet, not yet. Tiptoe, can you
I
mute up,
can't hear
Mike?
you,
It ain't
SP.
Clubhouse. It ain't Clubhouse. I wish we could mute
Can't
her.
hear you. We
General
can
Steele,
though.
I got one question for you. It's personal, all right? It's personal for you, so you can decide to answer it or not. But I would prefer if you answered it.
Get
Next
out.
week, Sunday. There's allegedly a battle going down with two
All
live
right.
MCs from the golden era. Tell me who you got. BDP or
Okay.
BD?
Well, anyways, this is my exit. I can't hear you guys, and I don't know what's going on. But it was a pleasure. I'll talk to you later, SP.
okay. See you later,
Peace, peace,
Tiptoe.
Bye.
peace, peace.
Peace.
So General Steele, on the
So,
record, is it BDP or BDK? And you are
um,
from Brooklyn, BK, unbiased. I'm
I,
talking
I
just
will
hip
say
hop.
this. I will say this, bro.
I'm
That is
asking everybody.
gargantuan battle right there. Okay, that's the battle.
Clash of the Titans.
That's right. That's gonna shake the boroughs. But Kane stopped rapping for a long period of time,
Bingo.
Yeah.
and
And I know you from BK, but all right, I like where you're going.
Kane Kane jumped on that smooth operator train, and was there for a minute. Meanwhile,
Mm-hmm.
KRS One was on top of Empire buildings. He was knocking planes out the sky. I don't know, man. I think BDP gonna smash that set though. Really.
Woo, folks, you heard
Yeah,
it
man.
first from a
And I love
BK
Kane.
general.
I love Kane severely, man. Both of them brothers,
Yeah.
man. Both of them
You,
brothers got my heart.
Oh, they legend. There's no question. They in that what is the Mount Rushmore? But
Yeah.
folks, you heard it here first from a BK general, a BK king, a BK
Yo,
legend. He put it down and said BD, not K. He
yeah.
said BDP.
And on
Okay,
the
and
low,
I say BDP too.
KRS One lived in
well,
Brooklyn for a little while. On the low,
Boom, and I heard he was born and raised in BK
that's a
too. Boom,
fact.
boom.
and see, I think y'all are
SP is BD Cam.
underestimating the power of the ladies.
Ah,
I think y'all are underestimating that lady power that
yo, you know
that
what? Yo, SP. I tell you what, it's a battle though. You know what I mean?
yeah.
The ladies are gonna be present, but battle. It's a gladiator sport. This is not a love song. It's not. It's gonna
I
be.
don't know. They didn't. They thought that with Fat Joe um
Ja Rule.
and Ja Rule.
Yeah, but
That
this is a little different though. This is a little different.
that was
This is a little
yeah.
The
different.
the the singing fella got it.
Yeah,
Yo, I mean, Ja
the
Rule got
dances.
so that's
Yes,
a
yes.
hardcore
No question. No question.
Malay. Like
No
that's
question.
so holla.
I think that single handedly could bring back his career. Like that right there puts him
That's right.
in the conversation and gave him
Right,
life.
because
Thank God for Fat Joe. Hmm?
they were sleeping on him. But
Yeah, and they buried him basically. And thank God for
Ja,
Fat Joe and everything. They gave him a
Mhm.
second win, yo.
you gotta think because Ja been on he got a bunch of features. He was hot for years straight, like back to back.
Yeah.
He was killing the game.
And Ghost writing, he's good
Ghost writing. And his albums was
Mhm.
dope. His album was dope.
Yeah.
You know, Dolo. But yeah.
for sure. So it's on record, y'all. It's on record, y'all. When y'all play
Sorry,
this,
Kane.
whenever this, yeah,
It's gonna be a tough one, man.
whenever this comes out, I don't know if this comes out before the battle or after, but y'all heard it here first. We said
Chris gonna
me and
drop
General Steele, we said
Criminal
BDP.
Minded
Oh
out.
yeah, forget about it. The bridge is over. South Bronx.
Yeah.
Entertainment.
Rappers are in danger. Nah, it's gonna be a problem.
I just always root for the underdog.
Yeah.
So
Well,
there you go.
this is gonna this is
All
gonna be
right.
one for the books. That's a fact.
Yeah, it is.
Uh propaganda, crazy, disrespectful stuff. Like I like Jeezy and Gucci Man, but I think they was dabbling on a slippery
Street
slope.
shit. Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Mhm.
Like, y'all both
Definitely.
successful black men. Like certain things you don't need to do for the public. But it
Yeah,
be real,
but that was already personal.
yeah, right.
That
Exactly.
that was
Real out here.
yeah,
It be real.
that was some street stuff before it was music stuff.
Right.
So I think it was good for them to actually handle that
Get it out.
because it had been it's kind of like a kettle that's boiling over. It's finna set the house on fire.
That's
So it's best to dead it. It's been years of just simmering.
right.
And as sooner it was gonna come to a boil. So I think it was a good thing that they did it that.
I agree. I agree. Yeah. But it breathes some life back into the culture. It's healthy
Yeah.
to because some of these guys, um, you forget about them. And through this fashion,
Hmm.
able to kind of reminisce and then be excited and entertain. It's dope. Good. That's a. You can leave all that other nonsense out though. No nonsense.
Hmm.
Yep. Come out clean. Touch gloves. Come out clean. But yeah, I
This
appreciate you guys. Let's definitely let's see what another time we can do a part two.
whenever you ready, we are down. Just shoot me an email and I'm going to kick whoever's booked for that day out the room. You got you got to go.
um,
And this is so dope because man, real talk, man, like to meet one of your heroes, it's awesome when you meet your heroes and you were one of mine,
Hmm.
General Steele,
oh,
and not to be disappointed or whatever. Yo, sorry, I've got this thing playing it. My bad. Y'all can hear it? My
That
bad. Okay, now
it's
stop.
not.
But
It's lovely when
we
it's
could edit this
lovely
out, right?
when the person you
Yeah,
thought
it's
they
exactly
were
yeah.
are exactly who they are.
No, but even better,
It's
like you
even better.
surpassed this, like with stuff that you said today. So I really appreciate it. Can we stop recording so that I can take off my camera for, or are we gonna keep all of this too?
Well,
SP?
I love. We're just having a conversation.
All right. I wanted to put my face
what's
back
your
on. All
sign
right.
off?
But I just
I gotta sign off with the people.
Okay.
I want to say respect to all of the people who sent in questions.
yeah.
I know we didn't get a chance to touch base on all of those things, but we're gonna pick up where we left off next time we build. And thank you guys for having this dope platform that we can talk like humans. And yeah, man, anytime I'm on deck.
Thank you so much. We truly, truly appreciate it. And I really thank Maria for doing this with me. Me and Maria are very good friends, and um, I've been trying to. You're one of the people that was on both of our lists, so I'm so happy we were able to do it together.
Yeah.
And I truly appreciate you coming. And till next time, guys, peace out.
Thank you so much.
Peace. Powerful impact. Boom from the
Boom.
cannon. Yes. Boom. One love, y'all. Bless.